In my latest book review, I'll be reviewing I Before E Except After C, Old School Ways to Remember Stuff by Judy Parkinson. Here's a shot of the back there. You can pause and read all of that if you want to. This was published by Reader's Digest, and it's kind of a gift book type book. Every man's memory is his private literature, Aldous Huxley. And you can see all of the chapters here. They cover a lot of different topics because obviously there are a lot of mnemonic devices. There are mnemonic devices for just about every field of study. And I found this book interesting, but I was also kind of relieved to finish it. And this won't be a very long review, and it won't be the most positive review I've ever given either. You can even see that I didn't put my green sticker of accomplishment on the binding like I usually do because I'm still deciding whether or not to keep this book after reading it. It's not that it wasn't interesting at parts, but as I read it and I kind of looked at all the different mnemonic devices, a lot of them were ones I was already familiar with from school. Every good boy deserves fudge for the music, reading music. One that I didn't notice in here, maybe I just missed it, was never eat shredded wheat, northeast, southwest. That's what is in this book, those kind of mnemonic devices, and acrostics and poems and things like that. And as I was reading this, it kind of helped me to realize, it underscored how much education has changed over the years. Because a lot of these mnemonic devices are pretty old, and education used to be a lot more about memorizing stuff, and memorizing kind of weird things too. Like there's a mnemonic device in here to remember the 7 hills on which Rome was built, the city of Rome. The only thing is it's just the first letter, and each of those hills is like this Italian word that, sure, you get the first letter, but it's kind of hard to remember the rest of it because they don't exactly spring to memory if you're not Italian or Latin. But and that was kind of my main criticism, not of the book itself, but more of the subject matter. I would actually find, personally, in how I learn, I would actually find a lot of these mnemonic devices harder to remember than the facts themselves, especially because a lot of the sentences are not natural. They're not like natural sentences. They're very odd, kind of like the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. They're forced sentences. I forget what they call those sentences that have every letter in the alphabet. That sentence I just mentioned is one of them, and it's not that they don't mention those in here because that's a slightly different subject. But when somebody tries to make a sentence out of something and they have to have to use certain letters for the first letter of each word, so it's not exactly a memorable sentence because it's not a natural sentence. It's like a lot of them are very odd statements that just wouldn't make sense. I mean, they're not easy to remember because they're just, see, there's the 5 oceans. Pacifiers are icky, someone attested. See, that's just not pick an Indian summer apple. That one's not so bad. That one's a little better. But a lot of them are like that top one where they're just not, they're unnatural sentences. Old elephants have much skin. That one's not so bad. It's kind of in between. It's not great, but eat an aspirin after a nasty sandwich. You kind of see what I'm dealing with here. A lot of these sentences are just not. And see, some of them are even like the letter is not the first letter. Now, this is one I knew of before. I actually heard it on Beekman's World, but it was a slightly different version. Stalactites hang tight from the roof. Stalactites might make it up there someday. I actually remember that one. That one's actually kind of useful. But anyway, it's not that there's anything wrong with the book. And I mean, Judy Parkinson did a fine job of compiling all of this, but I just don't know if these mnemonic devices would be useful for a lot of people. they wouldn't be useful for me, like in how I learn things, because the sentences that you come up with are just, that you end up with are oftentimes just weird. So, yeah, that's kind of my take on it. I don't regret reading it. It was like a book to take out to a restaurant and like read a few pages of, like, while you're waiting for someone else to come back from the bathroom or something like that. You know, it's just that kind of thing. It's like, it's a bathroom book. It is. It's about whether you're in the bathroom or waiting for someone to come out of the bathroom. It really is like the definition of a bathroom book. I never took it into the bathroom with me. Actually, that's not true. But I never took it out of the bag. I took the bag into the bathroom. I never took the book out of the bag. So even though it was in the bathroom, it was never exposed to anything. Anyway, that's my review for this book. And thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. If and my thing is done here, so I'm going to sign off. I'll catch you in the next video.